So today we're going to address some planter boxes. So this was a planter box that I built last year. We got some greenhouse covers because while it's early on in the year, the weather today was just gorgeous. It was actually a clear blue sky, and that's pretty rare for this time, you know, the beginning of February. So what we need to do is set up one of these greenhouses and see what the actual dimensions of it are so that we can build boxes that the greenhouses fit within. I do want to talk real quick about farm clutter. Some people look at this as trash, and to me this is treasure. So what I have here is a bunch of old pallets. Pallets are so incredibly useful for everything. So what happens is you end up with things like rain gutters, where I'm like, man, these old gutters would make some awesome water reclamation. Or these big old water tanks that I have. This is just rain. Rain has filled this, I think it's 400-gallon tank. But then you end up with things like a 5-gallon bucket that got left outside that has, you know, purple primer in it that's ruined. So, and because chickens, random nesting box just in a random place that they like to lay eggs for some reason. So, you know, there's plans for all of this stuff eventually. Maybe on this channel we'll get to see what all of those plans are. So we have our little greenhouse. This came from Bi-Mart, and it's nothing special. It was pretty cheap. And look, it's made for Bi-Mart. Probably made in China, made in China. Yeah, I don't like to buy stuff unless I have to, but some of this stuff is so much cheaper. It's hard to justify even, oh no, party foul. It's hard to justify trying to do DIY stuff when it's just, like these were like, I think they were on sale for $25. So we'll see what they look like. Plastic corners, not super strong, should be okay. I call this Chinese crinkle plastic. It's like the crinkliest plastic ever, and it only comes from China. You can always tell. Sometimes you'll get stuff that's like American company or American owned, and you get it, and if you feel this, it's Chinese. 2. So this is going to give us our dimensions, and that's what we're kind of looking for here. These 3. That's the dimension of our little greenhouses. So we're going to build some planters that are that size. little greenhouse frame. As you saw, these actually are directional. I didn't really think to check before I started putting it together, but we got it sorted out. Not bad. Put a lot of plants under that. And this is primarily for seed starting and when there's still threat of frost, and to keep the birds out of the gardens while the plants are starting. Once they get established, it's not so bad. You're not going to have as many bird problems because they're not just going to totally, I mean they can, but they typically don't just dig up the entire plant. But while it's small, they think it's a tasty little treat. So not bad. Let's go ahead and get the cover on it and just see what that looks like. This cover is just your pretty standard, your typical ripstop. They call this opaque, but it's because it looks white, but it is mostly clear, and then it has this nylon woven into it to keep it from ripping. This stuff works pretty good. I've never actually had it ripped, and we've had branches hit it, but there you have it. Nice little zippy spots here. You can unzip it, tie it up so that it's out of the way, so you can get in there and work your plants while they're still small. And then once they're big, you just grab this whole thing and say sayonara, and you have your planter box or whatever's underneath it. So pretty cool. It took about 10 minutes to build. Second one will probably take about 5 minutes to build, and it was about 25 bucks from Bi-Mart. So far I would give this a, I mean honestly, it's a 5-star review. There's nothing wrong with this. It's not gonna fail under the conditions it's designed to be used in. Clearly if you have snow load or something like that, it's not gonna work, but if you're just using it to keep the chickens and the frost off of your baby plants, this should work great. And it's going to kind of determine the size of our plant. Finally, got the old tape measure. Let's see where we end up. So we're about, I'd say we're about 3 feet. I'll build the box 3 feet. We'll do 3 foot by, I think it's 6. Yeah, we'll do 3 foot by 6 foot boxes. How wide are these? They're just over 3 foot. Yeah, they're a little big. I was thinking I could use pallets underneath the boxes to keep air circulating up to the root zone from underneath. I still might build the boxes on top of pallets. I'm not sure yet. Going to think about it, because there's a couple options. You can either build the boxes on raised, like legitimately raised, or you can build the boxes flush with the ground, which doesn't provide as much drainage. So if they're raised, you get better drainage, and your plants are going to have more oxygen to the root zone, which is going to let the plants grow even faster. That's what I have for you today. YouTube is limiting my upload size to 10 minutes right now because I have no subscribers. If you're on my other channel, come on over, subscribe. We're going to build some stuff. We're going to grow some animals and some plants and harvest them. The animals and the plants. Don't get me wrong, it might get gross, but it's going to be fun, and it's going to be a great ride, and we're going to set up a farm stand, and we're going to talk about growing things, raising things, and selling things. And if we can make money at any of those things, we will have done it right. And if we can't, luckily we have a second source of income. So please subscribe and join me on this journey while we set up this farm stand out in the middle of nowhere. It's probably, the more I think about it, going to end up being a virtual farm stand where we have a physical location, but I'm probably going to be bringing boxes to people and doing deliveries. But hey, whatever it takes, we're going to figure it out. So thanks for watching.